What is the current state of the Kingdom of God in Sydney, 2022? Most churches appear to be comfortably numb, in a spiritual state of mediocrity, lukewarmness. Anglican, Baptist, Presbyterian, Uniting, Charismatic, Brethren, community churches, non-denominational, unaware of the signs of the times. What signs? How about the growing tyranny and authoritarianism in governments? 95% of over 16s in New South Wales are double, triple or quadruple jabbed. About 1/3 of this number were basically medically raped, forced into taking something that doesn't work and that they didn't want. People were told, take or lose your job. Take or you may lose your home. Take or you may lose your family. What sort of choice is that? Our PM during this false pandemic was a supposedly conservative church-attending Christian. Yet all I saw was a man pushing left-wing agendas. Zero net carbon dioxide emissions. Unwilling to fight for our religious discrimination bill, so he cowardly just cut and ran. It wasn't politically easy for him to run with this agenda. It was politically difficult. He didn't want to spend his political capital on our religious discrimination legislation. He'd rather be a massive, big spending government running unprecedented deficits. Typical populist, pragmatist. Where are our conviction politicians on the conservative side, standing for Christian values? Why would any conservative Christian vote for the Libs or the Nats? Certainly you wouldn't vote for Labor or the Greens. Our politicians are largely all baby-murdering, evil, power-hungry people, unwilling to stand on principle for any cause. Then we have the New South Wales Premier, Perrottet. What a shocking disappointment he's been. Mr. Freedom and Liberty, happy to extend the home detention of the unvaxxed. What a pipsqueak. Another counterfeit conservative Christian, running a corrupt party of pigs with noses in the trough. Not conservative fiscally or socially, but big spending, big government, power-hungry, tyrants and oppressors. Now we hear rumours of sudden adult death syndrome. And these morons wonder what the cause is. We hear rumours of excess mortality across the globe, especially in the 18 to 49 age group. I wonder what's causing this. But I better not verbalise the truth on social media. Otherwise the watchdogs will cancel me. I myself recently got the China virus. What's all the fuss about? It was nothing. I said to my friends, I bet I end up getting it and it'll be nothing more than a mild cold. That's exactly what it was, an insignificant cold, lasting for one day. So much for long COVID. Then we hear of wars and rumours of wars. Militarism in the land of Gog and Magog. Hello, Russia invading Ukraine. What about China threatening Taiwan? Or China quadrupling the power of its navy since the turn of the century? Look at the growing worldwide government overreach and expansion of government tyranny, not just in places like Russia or China either. For example, look at Canada, locking up pastors. Canada, freedom-loving Canada, locking up pastors. I'm not talking about China. Canada, taking peaceful trucker protesters, taking their trucks off them, stealing their bank accounts. And seriously, Trudeau standing up and condemning Russian overreach and aggression against a neighbouring country. What about what Trudeau is doing to his own people? Emergency laws for peaceful protesters. Trampling citizens with mounted police because they disagree with his politics. Then look within our own Western churches. Mega churches with slimy doctrine of Balaam, dogs hungry for your money. False tongues rampant, false healing widespread, false prophecy everywhere you look, even in conservative circles. And it isn't just the mega church pastors on the gravy train either. Look at the average pastor, minister, reverend, priest, working in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. Most of them get a free house that the average person would need $70,000 per year after tax dollars to pay for. They get this type of house for free, untaxed. Then, due to the tax laws, if they have, say, 4 kids, which many of them do, they get $25,000 or more cash from the federal government called Family Benefit A or A and B, untaxed, just cash money. Then if they send those 4 kids to the right private schools, they get up to $20,000 per year discount for each child, tax-free. For this family of 4, that's an $80,000 per year tax-free benefit. And have you noticed the paid pastors seem to have more kids than the rest of us? That's because they're the only one that can afford to have 4 and 5 kids, and they're incentivized to do so. Then look at their travel and tech allowances, tax-free. Some even get their power from home, their home power bill paid for, their electricity, their gas bills paid for, tax-free. Some are given church credit cards and all sorts of things to put on that, expensive lunches and whatnot. All tax-free benefits. This could add up to another $20,000 per year in tax-free benefits. Then if the church is involved in a food bank service for the poor, you can almost guarantee the minister has his nose in that trough. I know of one minister that brags he hasn't been grocery shopping for years. Maybe another $25,000 per year in tax-free benefit to the good pastor. So before we even get to their salary, which is also largely tax-free, that is a total of $220,000 per year in tax-free benefits. Then say what seems like a modest salary. Let's call it $75,000, which they pay no more than about $5,000 per year income tax on due to tax loopholes. And this typical eastern suburbs pastor, this typical eastern suburbs of Sydney pastor is on $290,000 per year net income. That's $290,000 per year after tax money. Enormous sums of money. This is why I think most pastors, ministers are hirelings, worthless shepherds. They have chosen a very lucrative career path, and the systems behind them are supporting these massive tax-free incomes. Most of them will end up becoming multi-millionaires. I can only pray that the Lord's coming is very near. As Jesus predicted in Matthew 13, the entire lump has been leavened. The tares have been mixed in with the wheat, and the mustard seed has grown into an oversized monstrosity with demonic birds nesting in its branches. The state of the kingdom of God in Sydney, Australia is horrific, apostate, unengaged, cold, indifferent, ripe for judgment. All I can say is Maranatha.